Now that we've selected some panels to operate on, let's go ahead and take a look at our third step, is where we actually go through and change something about those panels. So we can do a couple different things. A very common thing is to set some element parameters. We could basically set a parameter by name, kind of give it some new value in there. We might also flip an element. You're going to find that when we place these panels on different surfaces, sometimes the panels flip in as opposed to flip out. And if we want to flip them around so they grow to the outside as opposed to the inside, we can turn on a parameter called flip and change its value to true. We can also, if a panel has sub-elements, if there's specific parts of the panel that we can control the visibility of, we can turn those on or off by, again, setting the visibility parameter for those parts to either true or false. Okay, so a very common thing is to set some element parameters. We can also get into just overriding the appearance. We played around with that a little bit in the past example where we just do an element color or override the color in view. Okay, that works for shaded views. Okay, so we can kind of just give it a different color so it looks a little bit different in the shaded views. We can override the visibility of something. There's something called element override in view, and you can actually just turn on an option called hide, which will just, if you make that true, will hide the element completely. You can remove the overrides if necessary. Okay, and you can also do this one. This is one thing that people ask about because, oh, when you're overriding the color in view, you think that's kind of great, but then you'd like it to actually somehow reflect in a rendered view or in a realistic view. But you can't, the color overrides only affect the shaded views. If you really want to have a rendered view or a realistic view have two different appearances, you need to basically assign a different material that'll render differently to different panels. So you can change specific panels to change a family type so that it uses a type that has a different material assigned to that type. So let's take a look at how you can do some of these things. So the idea is, here we are. We have our list of panels over here, sorted by our Boolean mask, and let's just kind of think about some of the different things you can do. The in panels, the ones as a result of in, are those the ones that met the criteria. The out are the ones that didn't meet the criteria. So let's just think about some things you can do here. So I have a big list of them over here on the side. We can set element parameters, for example, O. Let's go through and take the in parameters, or the in panels. And what do we do? Maybe give them a height of like 5, something like that, just so they look a little bit different. Oh, it's interesting, you don't see them right now, and the reason is they're actually on the inside right now. Let me go ahead and turn on the flip, because the flip is going to be important to us. I'll set that to true. So there you can actually see those panels. Make that more just like 2. Very good. Okay, so you can definitely set some parameters if you need to. You can override the element color. Now, again, that's only going to be appropriate, or is only going to be seen in a shaded view or a consistent color view, either one of those. Okay, so if I want to go through and make those elements red, I can do that. Oops. I plugged it into the wrong spot there. I plugged it into the alpha value. That's not where I want to be. I need to be over there. It's not an alpha value. Okay, there they are, vibrant red right now. Okay, now again, that's only in shaded views. If I go back to a realistic or a rendered view, well, what does it have? It has a little bit of a, I guess it's sort of what would I say? It's like an overlayer of kind of the red on top of that, but that's a little kind of odd right now. Let me go through and do this. I'm going to basically take those same ones over there and just say, let me just remove that. And now we're just back to the material settings themselves. Okay, Now, for the idea of kind of changing the different panel materials, let's go through and take a look at that. Okay, so the idea is you can have different materials for different panels. The idea is all these different panels which are floating around up here, they have a material type. These are all set to, if I go to the properties, type material 1, which is kind of this deep red kind of color material. If I want to go through and have the panels which didn't meet the criteria, kind of have a different panel material, I can do that too. So I can take these on down on the outs and just basically have it apply. Actually, I take that back. That's material 1. So for these, I want to have them apply to material 2 instead. Very good. Now, since I want to see those also, I'm going to basically set all the different panels, the ins and the outs, all to go through and get the flip operation to them. So I'm going to take all those elements over here and flip them all. Did a little recomputation. There, you got the idea. Okay, so now we have kind of a lighter wood versus a darker wood up at the top of the spine there. Okay, so that's the heart of the example there. The idea is that you can set up some criteria. You can use list filter by Boolean mask. Okay, and then based upon those panels that are selected with that Boolean mask, you can do these different operations to change and, again, create some sort of patterns. And these are all examples of just how we can use a little bit of data or something we can compute to just change the behavior of the panels just a little bit, okay, so that the structures get a little bit more responsive to the conditions around them.